This is Kite Cutter TV with another presentation. We gotta talk about this. Okay, guys, as you guys know, my channel primarily deals with illegal immigration, but I'm a man of God. I believe in Jesus, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. So as much as I do try and expose illegal immigration to protect the American citizen and the legal immigrant, I still don't want illegal immigrants trying to come over to the US to get hurt. Okay, so right now we got at least 80 illegal aliens stuck in the back of a tractor trailer. Now, this is very disturbing because once you put your hand in coyotes and you pay these people money, usually they extort you for more money in the future. So you really can't trust these people. I've seen coyotes, which if you don't know what I'm speaking about, coyotes are basically the smugglers that are getting paid to bring these illegal aliens over. These people don't care about the illegal alien. All they care about is the money. They treat these people like luggage, like baggage. If you get hurt in the desert, they'll leave you behind. I've seen so many instances where illegal immigrants get left behind by these coyotes. Now what it seems like that's happening, and this is a very disturbing video, you might have 80 illegal immigrants in the back of a tractor trailer that's stuck and they're running out of oxygen. So one of them seems to have a cell phone and they call up the local police. And it sounds pretty bad, man. So as much as I do expose illegal immigration, I care about people. I love people. I don't want people to get hurt. Don't put yourself in the hands of these coyotes trying to cross the border illegally. Go to a port of entry and do it the legal way. We got that plus a lot more immigration topics to get into. Check this out.
It's a desperate search for some 80 alleged victims of a human trafficking operation trapped in the back of a tanker truck. We must warn you that what you're about to hear is difficult to listen to. It's one of several 911 calls from someone alleging to be inside the tanker with other immigrants.
No, el camión está parado. ¿Está parado? Está parado, se me hace que al lado de la carretera porque se escuchan los carros. ¿Está al lado de la carretera? Sí, porque se pasan los carros.
The calls were both made to the San Antonio Police Department and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office.
And so it's heartbreaking to hear because clearly behind the caller in the background, you can hear others in the car, in the trailer, and they're also screaming for help in Spanish and saying that they're out of air.
This video was recorded by a surveillance camera on I-35 near Fisher Road around midnight. You see the tanker and a black pickup pull up and then leave. They do that twice.
Una tipa color blanca. Sí. Somos como 80 personas. 80 personas? Sí, un aproximado.
The caller at one point says that some people are already dead. This is why the Sheriff's Office, Homeland Security Investigations, DPS, and the San Antonio Police Department are asking for anyone with information to come forward.
I'd bet a lot of money that if the smugglers do encounter somebody in the back of that trailer that is either very, very ill as a result of the conditions they were exposed to or even dead, they're not going to do the right thing. They're going to dump a body or they're going to abandon somebody at a hospital maybe. They're certainly not going to do the right thing. And so we're letting our deputies know to be on the lookout for anything.
The only thing that is certain right now is that the tanker was traveling to San Antonio and the signal from the caller was picked up around this area where the surveillance video is from.
¿Estaba manejando? ¿Te acuerdas? No sabemos quién es. Ya nos fuimos. Relájense. ¿Y nadie tiene otro teléfono que está conectado? Apágalo. Ayuda. Bendito Dios. ¿Y de dónde empezaron este viaje? Señor, ¿me oyes? I lost him.
President Joe Biden's plan to reshape America's immigration policy through executive order hitting a roadblock after a federal judge extended the suspension of Biden's deportation freeze of 100 days. But some major changes are still to come, and it's being revealed the White House has guidelines to limit arrests and deportations by ICE. We've been talking about it for the last couple of days. Here to react is Fox News contributor and retired ICE director Tom Homan. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So these guidelines that are circulating, it makes it sound like, you know, for the average crime that somebody who is in this country illegally commits, they're not going to get deported. So it's harder to arrest them, which means it's harder to deport them.
Exactly, and that's what they're doing. They're circumventing the judge's order, and you know, thank God for the AG in Texas who's taking this on. And thanks to Chip Roy. Chip Roy has led a group of 50 senators to send a letter asking about this. But look, I'm a part of that lawsuit. I actually filed an affidavit with the Texas AG explaining to him the consequences of such a policy. Because look, you and I, Steve, have talked the last couple of years, every time someone's released from a sanctuary jail, they commit a murder, commit a rape, we talk about it for a couple of days and it goes away. Be clear what's happening here. President Biden has declared the entire country a sanctuary jurisdiction, which means more tragedies are going to come. Mark my word, people will die, people will be raped, people will be victimized by criminals that shouldn't even be here. It's coming, and you know, we've been talking about this for 2 years, and it's already started, Steve. Because I want to mention one more thing. There's a national sex offender operation plan last week called Operation Talon. They were targeting the arrest of convicted sexual offenders, including child molesters. They canceled the operation on the heels of this memorandum. So it's already started. We have sexual predators who are here illegally walking the streets in our communities because of the actions of this administration.
Well, you look at the numbers, surge in numbers, the daily average flow last month was 2,000. Last month it was 2,000. Now it is 3,500. There were portions of the Arizona border the law enforcement had seen gigantic increases in, and those had completely gone dead during the Trump administration. And then when you look at last calendar year, 103,000 total arrests, 90% of those were arrested, had criminal convictions or pending criminal charges. But now, because given the fact that the law enforcement is so hamstrung in who they can arrest and who they can deport, what's going to happen to all those people?
You know, there was no reason to reprioritize what ICE does. If they would have clearly looked at the data, 91% of everybody ICE arrests is either a convicted criminal or pending criminal charges. What they just did, they took 95%, and that's not an exaggeration, 95% of the criminals ICE have arrested are now off the table. They're free in the community. And what kind of message does that send to the rest of the world? If you're coming to the country illegally, if you can get past the Border Patrol, don't commit an aggravated felony, and you're home free. You get to stay because ICE is not looking for you. It's no longer illegal to be here illegally. In my 34 years of doing this job, and I started as a Border Patrol agent, I climbed the ladder to be an ICE director. First one to climb up through the ranks. When I read this policy, this is the most anti-law enforcement, pro-criminal policy that I could ever imagine in my worst nightmare. I cannot believe they put this in writing. This is sending a message to the rest of the world. The border is surging. And in the memo, they said, we have to do this. We have to redeploy resources to the border to deal with the asylum cases. They fail to mention the surge at the border is of their own making because of their promises and their enticements. That's why there's a surge at the border. But they want this. This is designed to be this way. They're bringing millions of people into this country who will now be counted on the census because Joe Biden overturned that, which leads to seats in the House, Electoral College, and elections. This is power over public safety, the quest for power over protecting American citizens.
All right, nobody knows more about the topic than you do. Tom Homan, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thanks for having me.
Former acting ICE director talking politics there. Why do you think that this is pitching into that direction?
Well, it's clearly a political move. The president feels he's got to appease his leftist base. And the problem is, and look, Tom's a great guy. I'm glad he was on earlier this morning on Fox talking about this, because ICE is one of the things that are in the crosshairs of the left. ICE is there importantly for interior enforcement. Now we're talking about saying we're not going to release people who have been convicted of DUIs or other dangerous activities. This is endangering American citizens. And also, I want to repeat, endangering the immigrants who seek to come here. And I find it really interesting that as we sit here, Harris, the United States Senate is engaged in impeachment proceedings against former President Trump. Let's think about what the President Biden is doing right now. There's a take care clause in the Constitution that says he's got to enforce the laws of the United States. He is specifically and purposely refusing to enforce the laws of the United States that endangers the American people, endangers immigrants seeking to come here. And I can tell you what, endangers my home state of Texas. I find that to be deplorable, and I think it's something we ought to continue to look at and press the president on.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, God bless. Peace.